Dave, a record amount of runs scored in one inning in the postseason for Major League Baseball. What is it that got into your guys today that had been lacking in previous games apart from the ninth inning yesterday?
Yeah, obviously the infield hit by Mookie started us off, and then Corey going the other way. And I just realized that we got all those runs with 2 outs. Just really good at bats. I mean, really, Alana, just good at bats. And then we hit some homers and took some walks. Just obviously a well-played inning. And I do think that last night's ninth bled over into tonight. So it was just obviously a fun offensive night for us. Played good defense. And even, when the game was out of hand, we still, I thought, in my opinion, took really good at bats. Julio wasn't sharp early, but for him to get through 5 innings to save some other arms, I thought was huge. So a good night for us.
The overturned call to start the game and then the RBI double from Corey. Are you thinking once that call's overturned that perhaps this game is going to go in your favor? Did you see that as perhaps a good omen?
I think so. That goes to Chad Shop. He does replay and did a great job. And so to get that infield hit, and then the next pitch, you see 2 pitches and you've already got to run. That was quite the change. Yeah.
You mentioned Julio didn't have his stuff early on. He had a couple of walks in that first inning. How pleased are you, though, his ability to be able to get through that? And not only that, he did his job tonight.
It's no surprise that he got through it. And, I can recall that Camargo at bat was a really good one. I think Acuna, that first at bat of the game, saw some pitches, but he settled down, kept making pitches, and knew we needed some length out of him. So to get him through 5, get him up to 100 pitches, it was really good. Finished a lot better than it started, but credit goes to Julio.
Thank you.
Next question's from Jorge Castillo. Go ahead.
Dave, do you have a Game 4 starter?
Yeah. We're going to start Clayton tomorrow.
And that's after he reported everything was fine and all that? Is that what needed to happen? And just in the last week, Jock in his 3 starts, I think he has 7 hits. What are you seeing in his at-bats that's different than before?
I just think that, Jock is really staying in the strike zone. He's using the big part of the field. And, even left on left tonight stays in there and hits the ball hard up the middle. And, when a guy is going hard through the middle, then they're seeing it pretty well. So Jock's doing a fantastic job for us.
Thank you.
Next question's from Bill Plunkett. Go ahead.
Once you get up to that big early lead, was there any consideration given to shutting Julio down, saving him for another game in relief?
No. I think that, getting some other guys not pitching was important as well. And so, he'll have a couple of days off and we'll kind of see where he's at then.
And with Clayton, is everything just business as usual now? Is he going to be shortened in any way?
No, my expectation is that he's going to go out there and make a start and help us win a baseball game.
You think the extra time off might help the lost velocity from the start last week?
Bill, I don't know. I guess we'll all find out tomorrow, but I just, know that, if he's in a good place physically and he'll be prepared, so I like where we're at.
Thanks.
Yep.
Next question's from Pedro Mora. Go ahead.
Dave, Jock said that there had been some, I think, miscommunications is the word he used with Chop earlier in this series on replays. How certain were you on that Mookie one to begin this game?
Yeah, I think for me, I just defer to those guys, and I think they do a good job, and we went with it, and we got it right. So that was, give them credit.
Next question's from Mike DiGiovanna. Go ahead.
Thanks, Juan. Dave, was there, following up on the question Plunk asked about Julio, was there a conversation after that first inning or even after the second or third that, hey, this might be an idea we can consider, knowing how good he has been in relief and knowing you could have a game 7 in 4 days?
No, because, I think that we wanted to get through this game. And obviously there was, it was a big margin. But for him to find his way and to pitch well, I thought has a lot of value. And I don't think right now, Mike, we're worried about Game 7.
And Julio, you know, you've been very careful with him over the years. Does he seem sort of ready to, you know, sort of get rid of those kid gloves a little bit? And is tonight sort of a move toward that?
Yeah. I mean, I think that if you look at, you know, his last turn in relief, it was 4 and call it 85-ish. And tonight he went 5 and 100. So he did exactly what we needed. Yeah.
Next question from Bill Shaikin. Go ahead.
Dave, I just wanted to ask you, through all the Octobers you've been here, what was it like seeing Kenley out there so early in the game? How did you assess his performance? And how has it gone between you and him the last week in terms of communicating his role?
Oh, well, Kenley and I are great. We've always been great. I think that I was really pleased the way he threw the baseball. And every inning is important. Every out's important. And also just to give him an opportunity to pitch. And as he's been working through delivery stuff, to see how it plays with major league hitters. And so that's beneficial for everyone. So I was just really happy with the outing.
Thank you.
Next question's from Bill Plaschke. Go ahead.
Yeah, Doc, watching that first inning historic barrage, do you find yourself ever amazed, surprised? What's it like in the dugout when all those runs are being scored?
You know what? I think for me, it's just you're just happy for the guys. You know, the hitting coaches put in a lot of work preparing the hitters, and the hitters put in their work. And then so for it to play out like that, you just feel the energy, and it's a lot of excitement.
Thank you.
Yep.
Next question's from Scott Braun. Go ahead.
Hey, Dave, is Dustin lined up for Game 5, and also how's Bueller Splister responding to line up for a normal Game 6 if we're going there?
Yeah, you know what? Right now, I think, Scott, we're just, you know, right now, I think I'm just, you know, we're just focused on Clayton making the start, and, you know, we'll pick up the pieces tomorrow and see where Walker and Dustin are at.
Next question's from JP Hornstra. Go ahead.
Yeah, Dave, in the first inning today, we saw a lot of really solid contact on the first pitch of the at-bat, especially in comparison to the first 2 games of this series. How much of that is confidence? How much of that is scouting? And how much of that was a deliberate change in strategy that you had coming into this one?
I think it was just approach. And I can't really recall, JP, exactly what the pitches, each pitch in those, you know, 13, 14 hitters that hit in that first inning. For, you know, fastballs, breaking balls. But I do know that our guys want our hitters to be ready, you know, for strikes. And if they throw a strike, you know, to get ahead, then we're ready to fire. And that's what we did tonight.
Thank you.
I got time for one more. Go ahead, Claudia.
Dave, how you keep your team focused to come to the next game with that intensity in those first innings?
You know what? I think for me, it's pretty easy. We got good players, really focused players. So understanding we had a big lead early, but I just really felt good. After that first inning, we still stayed focused and played good baseball. Because at times when you get a lead early, you start getting sloppy with your at-bats and the defense and the pitching. But we stayed focused for 9 innings. So that's, you know, all goes to the players.
Thanks, Dave. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, guys.